Good afternoon. My name is Father Roland. I'm the pastor here at Blessed Trinity Church in Orlando, Florida. I welcome you to Pastor's Notes number 7. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, around 3:30 in the afternoon. Different items here of varying importance. One that is important, of course, is the food that Blessed Trinity collects every weekend. For years now, people have been donating and bringing in dry goods, non-perishable foods to be shared with the people, with the programs at Catholic Charities. And the Catholic Charities of Orlando have come to depend on Blessed Trinity Church for some food to help stock their pantry shelves. Well, we noticed that during the pandemic, some of that food seems to have gone its way already before being directed or taken by Catholic Charities. I would ask you please to refrain from doing that if you are in need of food, please call the office. We can help you either buy some of those foods, yes, or with a Publix credit card that might help you get over a rough week. But please, let's leave that food that's there in the church to be taken by Catholic Charities to be distributed through their own channels. Thank you. We're talking now also about First Communion and Confirmation. These two sacraments of initiation were supposed to happen in May. We're looking at some dates before the end of the summer. We can't officially announce them yet because we need confirmation from the bishop's office, official approval. But parents of First Communion children or confirmation young adults, please know that we know who you are and we will notify you of the dates as soon as we can. Our Catholic appeal, as you know, is the bishop's appeal here in Orlando for the work of the diocese. This is the annual collection, which is assessed at each parish, depending on what their income is in the course of a year, to help subsidize the works of the diocese. Now we're talking some 93 parishes, several schools, and other institutions. Bishop Brady Villas, for instance, for disabled people. These intentions in these works are all supported by the general population, Catholic population of the diocese. And it's under our Catholic appeal. Now, our assessment this year has been $178,000. As I've told you before, as we began this in February, just before the pandemic broke. Well, I'm very happy to announce that we've reached our goal in terms of pledges. What needs to happen now, of course, is for those pledges to be fulfilled. I'm simply reminding you of that. We have the year to do it, and we're moving along. But please, as you consider the needs of the church, financial needs of the parish, please also consider the financial needs of the diocese. People are asking and telephoning the office and asking if small groups can start meeting again, some small ministries, prayer groups, and whatnot. And we inquired with the Chancery, and we were told definitely not yet. No small groups. There are no classes, scripture classes or sacrament classes, while this restriction is in force. So please, be patient. We will open those doors as soon as we can, believe me. Speaking of doors, one door that we're thinking about is the thrift shop. We were told that thrift shops are not to open now. We have a wonderful little thrift shop here at Blessed Trinity, and it is well visited and supported by the parishioners and people around the neighborhood, whoever. But we've been closed now for 2 months, and we will remain closed until we are given permission to open the thrift shop. So You'll hear about it in the pastor's notes when we are given permission, or you'll hear about it at one of the live stream masses at announcement time. But we will tell you as soon as that is possible. Now, we're talking a few minutes ago about collection and money for the Our Catholic Appeal. I come back to the idea of electronic fund transfers. Somebody told me that, and this is something I had not thought of, but electronic funds transfers, if channeled through a credit card, can often make the user a recipient of points. That money that they spend, whether it's on groceries or church support, somehow comes back to them as points for certain advantages that the credit card program offers. So please consider that reward issue as you consider using your credit cards for church support. Credit cards are the easiest and direct way to do this. Consider doing that. It's safe and effective. I come to a personal matter having to do with the La Salette community. You know, this pandemic has been vicious as it's raged in New England, and especially in our residence in Hartford, Connecticut, where we have our assisted living program. In these 2-3 months, we have seen 7 of our La Salette priests and 1 brother die from COVID-19. Now, some of these men were not well physically. Some of these men were in their 90s, but nonetheless, giants in our community life and our community history here in the United States. I want you to hear their names, and you might think of praying for them individually or just take a note on that. Richard Boucher was a well-known local superior in the various communities of the province of Mary, Mother of the Americas, the La Salette provincial province structure. Mark Gallant was the one brother. Mark was a wonderful man, a very friendly, outgoing fellow who spent most of his years in mission work in Madagascar, and then as well served our international general house in Rome as a secretary. So Mark also went home to his eternal reward. Father Jack Garvey, I think he was 96, they told me. Jack was a Latin professor in a minor seminary till he was 65 years old. And at that age, decided to go to Argentina and work in the missions. He learned a new language and spent some 25 years ministering. He's just come back to the United States in the last couple of years. He went home to God. Morris Linehan, a member from of the La Salette community, comes from Texas and is well known in Texas and is beloved in Texas, and worked at several of our parishes in the Houston and Dallas areas. God bless Mo. He just returned from filling in and assisting at masses in Texas just within a year. William Mulcair, an Irishman from England, has been in the States all his life, or a long time anyway, was a pastoral counselor and worked in that ministry for many years. James Winiarski from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, part of our Polish province that existed at one time. Jim was called home to God too through COVID-19. And lastly, Robert Vachon, how you would say it, a Frenchman. He was in Montreal, lived in Montreal most of his life, and he earned a national reputation as being a spokesperson for the Native peoples of Canada. Became somewhat of an expert in that area and was often at various government functions regarding that question. Now, besides those 7 men who died, we have 7 others who are also diagnosed but are responding well. At least we hope and pray they are. So Leo Holleran, Father John Higgins, Father Bud Flaherty, Brother David Cook, Father Vic Chapetta, Father Lamartine Aliscar, and Brother Andre Hamel. All these men are also living at the Hartford residence of assisted living. So this COVID-19 has struck close to home for many of us. They're probably just names to you, but I know many of you do like and respect and support the Lost Select community. I'd ask you to spiritually support these needs of these our members. For those who have gone home to God, we pray that their souls and the souls of all the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. And that's Pastor's Notes number 7 for this week. God willing, be talking to you next week. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay happy as best you can. God bless you.